I had a really unconventional college experience, and I think a lot of people get tied up in this whole confusion about the timelines and like what to major in and all these things that like feel really intimidating and scary when you don't resonate with them. Like you just don't feel like it's right for you. So I've been through that, and I like feel like I figured it out for myself, and I feel like I have value to provide in that realm through storytelling of like, okay, like this is what I did, this is what worked for me. Like just know that there are alternative paths. Like there are so many options, and you can like completely manipulate the experience to make it work for you. But I feel like nervous to talk about it all the time because it's such a cryptic subject, and it's also like such a intense time right now with like what people think about school and upper education and success. And I never want to give advice because I like have no advice to give. It's more of like, okay, this is how I figured it out, this is a solution that I designed for myself. And like I think everyone has to learn how to design their own solution, but like the whole purpose of education is like navigating evolving contexts, right? Like learning how to learning how to like figure out how you can be of service to the world and of service to yourself. And I mean, that's my takeaway from my education process, was not necessarily like the major itself, the study itself, like the classes themselves, but like for me to like have been forced into figuring out a way to take agency over my learning that worked for me, and like learning how to learning how to navigate a difficult situation that like didn't work for me and be like, okay, I need an alternative path, so now I have to create an alternative path for myself. Anyways, I don't have advice on that. I just have like what I went through. But yeah, because sometimes I talk about the college thing and people are like, whoa, that's so cool, like blah blah blah, how'd you do this, blah, blah, blah. And I get people in my DMs asking me questions about like creating your own major and gap years and stuff, but it's so personal that I'm just like, I want to help you, but I don't know how. All I know is like, this is what I did, and like this is what my perspective on it is, this is what my opinion on it is. Like I feel strong in that I'm allowed to have an opinion on college, and I'm allowed to like share that opinion, but like just in any context of like education purposes. There's so much information on the internet of like people trying to educate you on what the right way is, and there is no right way other than the way that works for you and the way that you created for yourself. And I just feel passionately about that it's like there's no right way. So when people give advice on anything, like especially like relationships and career path and stuff, like a lot of those solutions are helpful, and like using that information to your advantage can get you closer to the goal. But sometimes when there's too much information, it's like, okay, now what do I do? There's too many ideas floating on in my head. Like I can't even hear my own thoughts. I can't even hear what I want for myself because I'm just like listening to what everybody else is saying is the right way. So I just like have a hard time talking about it because of that reason. But I probably will continue to try to talk about it because it was a big part of my learning experience. And